Hey friends, it is Jenna, what is up, and welcome back to the Board Game Garden, and welcome to a chill little chit-chat video. Today I'm going to be doing the mid-year board game tag. This was a tag that Rolling Reggie started. If you guys haven't gone and checked out his channel, I will have his channel linked down below. I will also put the video up here, I'll put the thumbnail, and also the link to the video here if you guys want to go check out his mid-year board game tag, but he tagged me to do this and it sounds like a fun little thing to do, kind of going over all of the games and different prompts for games that I've played throughout the first half of 2023. So we're officially halfway through 2023 and I want to do a fun few videos kind of looking behind to the first half and then ahead to the second half. So I'll be doing this one, which is just overall a little board game tag, and then I will be doing my favorite 2023 releases so far video eventually. I will also be doing like a top 10 games that I'm looking forward to that are being released at the end or in the second half of 2023. So I have a few different ideas. Let me know if those are videos that you guys would like to see down in the comments. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy. Also hit that subscribe button down below if you've yet to do so. We'd love to have you here in the garden. We are, I believe, like 300 away from 20,000 subscribers. So if you guys are already a subscriber, thank you so much for deciding to join the garden and becoming a beautiful flower or a rock or a gnome or any other thing in this wonderful board game garden. But anyways, without further ado, if you guys are wanting to see all of these different prompts and what games I pick for each of them, then just keep on watching and let's get into this video, shall we? All right, so all of these prompts are for games that I played from January of 2023 until present day, and we are going to get right into it. There are 8 different prompts. I will say that I have a really hard time picking just one for each of the prompts, so most of these are going to have multiples for each of them. So we're just gonna deal with that because Jenna is indecisive and cannot pick favorites. So first one is, what is your favorite game? So what is the so far favorite game that I've played in 2023? It doesn't necessarily have to be a 2023 release. And for some reason I could not pick one for this, so I kind of made a few different categories. So I'm going to have my favorite party game, my favorite two-player game, my favorite heavier game, and then my favorite solo game. So the first one is going to be my favorite party game. Where is that one? This is it. Right here. My favorite party game so far this year has been Fun Facts. This is a game that we just started playing a ton of within the last month, and I went over all of the party games that we played within the last 6 months, and there are a ton of good ones and a ton that I've played consistently over the 6 months. But this one, just playing a few times, I can already tell that this is going to be one of our go-to party games. It is just so much fun. Basically, you each have your little arrow. It's gonna have your name on one side, and then on the other side, you are going to be answering for these different cards. So there's gonna be some cards that are like, how many hours of sleep do you get per night? And then each player is going to put down how many hours of sleep. The first player is going to place their arrow on the table, and then going around clockwise, each player is going to put their arrow where they think they lie in the ascending order of all the other players. So then once every player has placed their different arrows into this line, you're going to reveal, so you're going to flip them all over, and whichever ones are continuously in ascending order will stay. Any that are out of order you would push to the side. And then whatever ones are left over will be the ones that you score points for. You are working cooperatively, and then you get, or like you look at a little chart in the rule book to see how well you did. It's super fun, and you get to kind of learn new things about everybody at the table. So that is my favorite party game so far this year. That is Fun Facts. Moving on to my favorite two-player game so far in 2023. I don't play a lot of two-player games, but I wanted to add this in here just so that I could talk about this game, which is Wizards of the Grimoire. I've been talking about this game quite a bit recently because I recently got it off my shelf of opportunity. I played it over and over again, and I cannot get enough of this game. So basically in this game, you are dueling wizards. You are playing back and forth, trying to get your opponent down to 0 health before they get you down to 0 health, and you are playing different spells. So you're drafting different spells from the center of the table and placing them in front of you. Each player can have up to 6 spells. Once you get to 6 spells, you can gain more, but you do have to replace one of your 6 spells with a new one. And the way that you are performing these spells are with mana cards. There's going to be mana cards from 1 to 4. Obviously, the higher the mana card, the more powerful it is, and the more damage that it will do in certain cases. But basically, each spell is going to require a certain amount of mana cards. So that is just like the mana card itself, not so much the like number on the mana card, if that makes sense. So a spell could require 2 mana cards, so you'd take those 2 cards, put them face down. The numbers on the mana cards sometimes do matter for certain cards. There might be one card that is like, when you're discarding a card, a mana card off of this spell, do that much damage or deal that much damage. So you might want to, when you're placing cards, mana cards onto this spell, you might want to take that into consideration. I'm talking too fast. You might want to take that into consideration and place some higher cards, higher mana cards on that spell so that you can deal more damage. So there's a bunch of different types of spell cards that are going to manipulate these mana cards, that are going to deal damage to your opponent, do a bunch of different things. There's like ongoing things that some spells do, and I just really enjoy this one. I can't get enough of it. My friend Aiden and I were chatting about how they could probably make this into like a trading card game or like a bigger card game and like come out with a bunch of different like spells and different like packs and stuff, and I think it'd be really cool. But yes, that is Wizards of the Grimoire. This was sent over to me by Grimoire Games, so a huge thank you to them, and I'm excited to play this a heck ton more in the year of 2023 and moving into, you know, future years. Really enjoyed that one. Moving into the next little section of this prompt, and that is my favorite heavier game, which I couldn't, again, choose just one, so I am going to be talking about 2 that I have been obsessed with this year. There's one that I'm sure you guys can probably assume because I've been talking about it nonstop, but that is Tapestry. I have been obsessed with Tapestry. I was introduced to Tapestry in 2023. It was sent over by Stonemaier Games, so huge thank you to them. I also tried the Futures and Fantasies expansion, or Fantasies and Futures expansion, and really enjoyed that. I want to get the Architects expansion, as well as, or Arts and Architecture, and then the Plans and Ploys expansion. I want to get both of those eventually. But yes, Tapestry is wonderful. You're going up tracks. I just have this obsession with trying to like get better at this game. I'm constantly playing it on BGA and trying to just get better at the strategy of this game. There is just like so much to think about, and I see some people playing this game and like the finishing scores that they get and just everything in front of them that they have built up throughout this game of Tapestry is insane. Like some people end with like 5 different civilizations, and I'm like, how did that even happen? And like 20 technology cards. Like I have no idea how these people do it, but I want to get to that level, and I am obsessed with Tapestry. So that is my favorite heavier game of 2023 so far. Not necessarily a 2023 release, but that is that. And then another heavier game that I have been obsessed with this year. This is going to be very difficult to bring over. I just recently got this, and I'm sure a lot of you have been receiving yours as well. It is very heavy, but the game is the Castles of Burgundy. I don't know if I want to put this all the way up. I don't think things are gonna fall. But yes, the Castles of Burgundy, not necessarily specifically the special edition. I was playing the 20th anniversary edition a ton earlier in 2023, and I'm constantly playing the Castles of Burgundy on BGA as well. But I do think that the Castles of Burgundy is definitely going to be a heck of a lot higher on my favorite games of all time list. I will be doing one of those, I think, soon. Let me know if you guys would want to see my like favorite games of all time, like an updated one soon. I will do that if you guys want. But yeah, I have just been obsessed with Castle of Burgundy, and then receiving this like special edition fancy Castles of Burgundy has just made me fall even more in love with it, more than I was already. So that is the Castles of Burgundy. I am just obsessed. If you do not know, it is a tile laying game where you are putting these tiles into your duchy. You're building out this little duchy, and each of the tiles is going to do different things, and you're trying to be the player with the most victory points at the end of the game through a bunch of different things. So that is the Castles of Burgundy, one of my favorite heavier games so far this year. I say heavier, I know that both of these are not like extremely heavy games, but just slightly bigger games than your typical. So, and then lastly, for this first prompt, I promise it's almost over, but I wanted to do a favorite solo game category because you guys know how much of a solo gamer I am. And my favorite solo game so far in 2023 is The Legacy of You. I love this game so much. I've played it, I think, 4 or 5 times so far, and I'm kind of putting it off because I don't want it to end. And I know that if I do finish, if you guys do not know, this is a solo only resettable campaign game where you are doing a little bit of like resource management and trying to get the boat to the end of the canal and build a canal before a few different things happen. So before you get overrun by barbarians, before you run out of cards, and then also before the wave hits your ship or like overtakes your boat. So that is The Legacy of You. But I do think once I finish the campaign, I don't know if I'm gonna want to do another one, maybe to like discover new things and take different paths, but I don't know. I do really love the gameplay, so maybe I'll want to play it again, but I do think that if I do finish a campaign, I would love to like pass it on to a friend that also enjoys solo gaming so that they could experience it as well. Maybe that would be a better idea, but so far right now, being about halfway through the campaign, not so much halfway, close to halfway through campaign, I'm really enjoying The Legacy of You, and I am excited to play some more, but not too quickly because I don't want it to be over too quickly. But that is my favorite solo game so far this year. That is Legacy of You. All right, so that was the first prompt. We are moving on to the second one, which is, what is your most played game this year? So we do have 2. Both of these I've played, I think, like almost 15 times this year. The first one is going to be a small game, and that is Scout. We've played Scout almost 15 times this year. I love Scout so much. It never gets old too, and I really enjoy trying to get better at this game, and it's easy to get to the table. It's somewhat easy to teach. I've taught it to a few different people this year, but it is just a tried and true. Absolutely love this game. It gets all the hype, and for good reason. If you have not tried Scout yet, I definitely recommend. But yeah, we played that a ton this year. It's just easy also like to travel with and stuff. So that is Scout. And then the second game that I played most this year is Cascadia. So Cascadia, I do think a lot of these plays were solo because we did focus on this in, I think it was April, or it might have been, yeah, I think it actually was April. This was the first one of our like Board Game Garden solo monthly focus games. This was the first one, and I played it a ton in that month, so that's probably why. But I've also played this a few times multiplayer as well. I just love Cascadia so much. It is easy to get to the table. The gameplay is super simple, but then there's this like depth of strategy, and the puzzle is just so challenging, and I love trying to get the different achievements in the back of the book. That is one thing that Flat Out Games and a few other games have done, where they actually have some like achievements in the back of the rule book that I really enjoy trying to get and trying to get better at and achieving. So yes, Cascadia is one of the games that I played most in 2023 so far. Moving on to the third prompt. This is, what was your biggest surprise this year so far? So I'm about to bring another huge ginormous box onto screen. I have not played my copy of this yet, but I played it with my friends Aiden and Tyler, and this game has negotiation in it, which I had never played a negotiation game before, and I, for some reason, just was like, no, I am not ever playing a negotiation game. It's not gonna happen. But then they convinced me to try this game right here, and that is Moonrakers. So this is the Titan edition. Huge thank you to Ivy Studios, Ivy Games, for sending this over, and like all of your other games. Like, seriously, thank you so much. I don't know how I deserve this, but I'm so excited to try all of their other games and feature them here on the channel. But Moonrakers is definitely the one that got me really interested in Ivy Games. I've heard a ton of people talking about Moonrakers, but it was never one that I was like, oh, I need to try this. Negotiation, love that. I need to try that right away. Like, I, for some reason, just did not want to try a negotiation game, but Aiden and Tyler did convince me, and I'm so happy that they did, because I loved it. I loved Moonrakers. I won my first game, which can't believe I did that because I'm probably horrible at negotiation. But negotiation is definitely not as bad as I thought it was going to be. For some reason, I said this before, for some reason I thought negotiation was going to be like conflict, and I am the type of person that avoids conflict at all costs. So it was definitely one that I avoided because I thought that negotiation meant conflict. But it does not. Basically, you're just working together to try to like achieve these different quests or contracts in the game. And yeah, you can just help each other out and it's a good time. So that is Moonrakers. This is the Titan edition, so it has a bunch of expansions in it as well. And I'm very excited to hop into this. It has a solo mode as well, so I'm excited to try that one eventually and play this with Francis, because I feel like Francis would also really enjoy this, as well as our friends Tom and Asha. So I'm excited to try that with them and play more with Aiden and Tyler as well. This, I believe, is like one of their favorite games as well. So yes, that was my biggest surprise of 2023 so far. Moonrakers. All right, moving into the fourth prompt. This is, what has been your biggest disappointment? Which I saw Rodney over at Watch It Played film this video, and he has kind of the same standpoint as I do. Like, I don't like to waste my energy talking about a game that I didn't like. So I'm just gonna quickly go over two games that I didn't love. Both of these games I know a lot of other people enjoy, so I don't want to harp, again, this is something that Rodney said, harping on a game or like diminishing a game that other people might really enjoy. I just don't like that. So that's why you guys don't hear a lot of me talking about games that I don't enjoy. Yes. Anyways, the first one is one that I do not have, and that is Steam Up A Feast of Dim Sum. This is a game that just recently fulfilled on Kickstarter, I believe, and the components and the theme of this game, I was like obsessed with. Any sort of food game I love, and just for some reason this game I disliked very much. And I think the reason is that I felt like I didn't have a lot of control over what I was doing. I was trying to strategize, but every single time I tried to strategize, by the time it got back to my turn, my strategy was just gone and there was nothing that I could do about it. So then I had to try to switch my strategy to something else, and then that didn't work because by the time it got back to me, that thing had been taken or whatever. So I just felt like I had no control over what was going on, and I just kind of had to roll with the punches and be like, I guess I'll take this. It's not what I wanted, but I guess I'll have it. So that is the Steam Up A Feast of Dim Sum. Didn't love it. Would love to play it again to see if maybe it was just my first play, but that was that. And then the second game is one that I just recently played with my friends. I will be chatting a bit more about it on the games that I played in July. And that game is a game that's been on my shelf of opportunity for a very long time. That is Horos, which I really thought I was going to like this one. I don't know if maybe I just need to try it again. Maybe the first play was just not good, but I just have this feeling that this game, you are kind of going to be pushed in the same direction every single game. I felt like there was just like one strategy that you would always take, or one path that you'd always take. I couldn't see trying to take different paths for the most part. Like, I guess you could upgrade certain things, but for the most part, I feel like it would just be samey every game. Again, I will play this again. I do want to play this solo, but the first multiplayer game of it, didn't love it. It kind of let me down a bit, but that is Horos. All right, moving into two games that I have on my shelf of opportunity, or shelf of shame, whatever one you say, that I really want to get to the table soonest, or get off of my shelf of opportunity. And that is the first one, which this one was voted on by my Patreon for the game that they want Francis and I to learn next. So I do think once I get back from Level Up Retreat this weekend, I think I'm going to learn Paladins of the West Kingdom. This is the third, actually I think Viscounts might be the third one that was released, but this is the third one that we need to get played. We've already played Architects of the West Kingdom and Viscounts of the West Kingdom, and I really want to get this one played so that I can do a video on all three of them and kind of chat about what I feel about all three of them and my favorite, least favorite, my rankings, that sort of thing. So that is Paladins of the West Kingdom. And then the second one that I want to get off of my shelf of opportunity is one that I recently found at a bring and buy, and that is the Guild of Merchant Explorers. This one has been sold out at a bunch of different places, and I was really happy to find it at a bring and buy that I went to. Still in shrink, which was pretty crazy. But this one I unboxed it, and I, for some reason, am obsessed with the way that this looks. A lot of people are saying that it feels like a roll and write, but it's not a roll and write, and it's like a roll and cube, I guess, with a little bit of like exploration, which I really love. So I'm excited to get this one to the table and play it. So that is the Guild of Merchant Explorers. I've also heard that it is great solo as well, so I'm excited for that one. Prompt number 6, I believe we have 2 more after this, but prompt number 6 is, which game from 3+ years ago did you discover this year? So I do have 2. The first one is one that I do not own, but I will put the box cover here. That is Abyss. This is one that I recently talked about in my games that we played in this month, which I played this back in June. And I played this twice in June, and I love this game. And I'm actually considering trying to find a copy for myself. I don't know if it's available, but it's from 2014, I believe. It's a lot more of a different game than I thought it was going to be. Judging by the cover, I thought it was going to be this scary, really heavy game with not a lot that I enjoyed in it, but I really enjoyed this game. It is pretty simple, where you're just building out this tableau of these characters from different factions, and each of them are going to give you some sort of ability, and then you're also going exploring for these different colored cards that are associated to all those different factions, and you're going to be using those cards to pay for these characters and putting them in front of you. Once you get 3 keys, which you could get keys on their own, or some of the characters will have keys on them. Once you have 3 keys, you're going to be able to purchase, or you have to purchase, a location, and that location is going to get you some end game scoring. And you're gonna put that off to the side with the characters that had those keys on them. So whenever you spend those keys, which you have to take those cards out of your tableau and put them into that location. So you're kind of forfeiting their abilities in order to build that location. And then at the end of the game, whoever has the most victory points is the winner. You get victory points in a few different ways based off of the, I think they're called Heroes or something like that, but I think they are called Heroes. You get victory points for your heroes, for your locations, and a few different things as well. So really enjoyed Abyss. Definitely not one that I thought I was going to enjoy, but I enjoyed that one. And then the second one is quite an old game. I believe I looked this up, and the original of this is from 1999, but I recently received the new redone version of Raw. This was sent over by 25th Century Games, so thank you so much for that. I have not played my physical copy of it, but I'm excited to introduce this to family and friends. I feel like this one is light enough that I could play it with my family or Francis's family, so I'm excited for that. It also, I believe, plays up to 5 players, so that's pretty good. I wish it played up to 6 players, because because we typically have 6 players with Francis's family, but that's okay. It is very fun. I said this before and I'll say it again. It's kind of like Sushi Go, but with auctioning, which I think is fun. You're just doing a bunch of set collection with these tiles, auctioning or betting for these tiles in order to get them for yourself, put them into your tableau in front of you to gain points in different ways, kind of like in Sushi Go. But I really enjoyed Raw. I love their edition that they have here that they recently came out with. It is gorgeous. The tiles are gorgeous. The components are gorgeous. And yes, that was a game that I discovered this year that I think might be one of the oldest games. Obviously not this one because it's a reprint, but the original of Raw is very old. I didn't think it was actually that old, but anyways, that was prompt number 6. All right, so moving into prompt number 7. This one is a difficult one because there are way too many to list off here for this question, but this is which anticipated releases are you most excited about for the second half of the year? So there's quite a few. There's a few that I actually featured here on the channel that I'm excited to have fulfill at the end of this year. The first one I do have a physical copy of, and that is Unconscious Mind. I am so excited to have the finished version of this. This is a prototype. It's a really gorgeous prototype, so I'm just honestly happy that I have this. And honestly, I kind of want to just play this again to get my fix before the final product is fulfilled. But Unconscious Mind is fantastic. I'm so excited to see the final version. So that is one of them. I also covered Bark Avenue. Bark Avenue is hopefully going to be coming out at the end of this year as well. I'm excited because Penny is in every base game of that game, so that just warmed my heart. And it is a fantastic game, pick up deliver dog walking game that I really enjoyed. So Bark Avenue, as well as Hike It. Hike It is another one that I featured here on the channel that is hopefully going to be fulfilled at the end of this year. But as for ones that I have not covered and I have not backed myself, I am very, very excited for one, Septima or Septima from Mind Clash Games. I am so excited for that game to fulfill. Hopefully it's sometime soon. I think it's going to be pretty soon. I need to go and check the updates on that Kickstarter, but I am way too excited about that. I would love to just get my hands on a retail version of that. I am kind of regretting my decision not to back it, to be honest with you. But that's Septima. And then also a game called Mythwind. This is one that I did not have an opportunity to back because I think it was out on Kickstarter before I even knew what Kickstarter was. But I believe Mythwind is set to fulfill sometime later this year. So that one looks absolutely gorgeous. It is a campaign game and I feel like there's not so much like combat and stuff, which is something that I don't love in campaign games. I feel like there's a lot of combat, but I just kind of want to build out a village and things like that. And that is what, for the most part, I have gotten from Mythwind. So I'm really excited to try that one out. So those are the ones that I am most excited about. There are so many that I could list, and I think I might actually be doing a full video on games that I'm excited or anticipating for the second half of 2023. So keep an eye out for that full video. I'll go over 20 games or 15 games that I'm excited about for the second half of the year. The last prompt, this is a little bit more of a personal one, and that is, what's your personal favorite video that you've posted on your channel so far this year? So there are a few different that I really enjoy. One is the 1 cube challenge. I will put the thumbnail here and the video here. But the 1 cube challenge that I filmed with Francis was very fun. The main reason why I enjoyed that so much was because I had Francis in the video. I wish that I could convince him to be in more videos, but I'm not gonna force him. If he doesn't want to be in videos, then he doesn't have to be. But I really enjoyed doing that with him. It was a lot of fun. And then also the next one that I am just really proud of and I put a lot of thought into was the if you like this, then try this video, which again, I'll put the thumbnail here and the link up here. but that one I really enjoyed kind of doing research for and coming up with all of the different games. Like, if you like this, then try this. So those were the 2 videos that I enjoyed most making and uploading and having on the channel. All right, friends, so that is going to be everything for today's video. A huge thank you to Rolling Reggie. Reggie, thank you so much for tagging me in this and asking me to do this. I had a lot of fun coming up with all the answers and chatting here today with you guys. Hopefully you have a good weekend. I am actually off to Level Up Retreat this weekend, so when this video goes up, I will be in Connecticut and I will be playing board games all day and all night. My goal is to play as many board games as possible and probably not sleep enough, so that's that. But yes, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button down below. We'd love to have you here in the garden. Comment down below if you guys want to take part in this. Comment down below. I will have all of the prompts in the description box. You guys can go and copy and paste that into the comment section and you can answer them yourselves. I would love to know your answers down below. I will also in the description box have a few different creators that I would love to see do this. Please, if you guys are tagged, do it if you want. No pressure, of course, but would love to see your answers or hear your answers and see a video from you. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Remember, you are somebody's reason to smile, and I will see you in the next board game video. Bye, friends.